Embark on the JoJo journey, where laughter meets life, adventure unfolds, and the essence of who you are comes alive. I'm Javon Baker, and you're watching JoJo Talk. So let's talk about it. I have a special guest here, Ms. Whitney Renee, owner of Pretty Luxury Inc. And Ms. Whitney, thank you for embarking on the JoJo journey and being our special guest today.
I am so happy to be here. I'm happy that you invited me. I'm, just excited to be able to share the business journey, the ins and outs of it. So I'm happy to be here.
Well, let's dive right in.
Okay.
Tell us who Whitney Renee is.
Whitney Renee is a very authentic young woman. I say because I've been through a lot of life journeys that people don't know of. Had my children, my first child coming out of high school, didn't get a chance to just experience all of life of how I would want to, but I knew that I had a thrive. It was always a fire about me. I knew even when I was younger,
You knew you had a purpose.
I knew I had a purpose. I had a purpose all along. And it was either going to be me being a CEO or something.
Okay.
I knew it was going to be something. Something about me made me unique. And as a child, when you're a child, you don't understand.
You don't know how to express that.
You don't know how to express it. But you're different.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't know what makes you different.
And your difference is your power.
Yes. So I knew I had a purpose. Knew I wanted to be a business owner. I knew I loved fashion. I knew I loved everything about the beauty industry and just decided to just dive right into it.
Okay. You mentioned you had your first child out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
How many children do you have, and what's it like to be a mom?
I'm going to say this, it's the most enjoyable moment. I love it. But at the same time, it gets hard. I had my first child at 19. So, and she's 10 years old. She'll be 11 in April. So, but watching her, I see so much of myself in her.
Okay.
I see so much of myself in my children, all three of them. But they have different personalities.
Any boys? Any boys?
I have one boy.
Okay.
Yes, I have a 4-year-old son. My oldest one she's 10, and then my middle one, she's 9.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So yeah, parenthood.
Look, ain't for the week.
It's not, but it's fun. You get to enjoy the ins and outs. My kids, literally, I'm their best friend, and I wouldn't have it no other way.
Miss Whitney, as an entrepreneur, as a young woman,
mm-hmm.
you had started your own business long before you got established in the business that we're going to talk about today. Mm-hmm. So what was that like, and what was your first business?
My first business was Too Pretty Hair Collection.
Okay.
So I started back in 2017. Wanted to sell hair. Like I said, I've always had a thing for the beauty industry. Knew I wanted to kind of get into that. So started that, took off just, basically gaining knowledge on finding vendors. From Too Pretty Hair, I went into IAM Brows.
Okay.
The name.
So the hair to the brows. Okay.
Yes, the name for IAM Brows, and I still do IAM Brows on the side as far as doing micro shading. Do micro shading.
For those who don't know, aka me, what is micro shading?
It's tattooing brows. So it's the
I've seen that.
Yes, I got certification in that. I went to Atlanta to take care of doing that, made sure that I practiced and also just made sure I knew what I was doing before taking on clients. A lot of people didn't know why my business was IAM Brows.
Okay.
I named it IAM Brows because if you watch my journey, you would know that my children's names are India, Amaya, and Messiah. It stands for I am.
That's powerful. India,
Amaya,
and
Messiah.
Oh, I am.
Mm-hmm.
And when did you already know going into motherhood that this was something, because you were 19 when you named her India.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I did the math, right, the math of mathing, immediately came Amaya.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a little bit of gap in time. where you got
I was having
Messiah.
some.
Okay.
Yes.
So after IAM Brows
Mhm.
came,
Mhm.
what?
After IAM Brows came Pretty Luxury Ink.
I am very excited today to really dive into that. To me, that's what's exciting about Miss Whitney Renee. I want to get to the bottom of the creation of Pretty Luxury Ink. I want to know, how did this become a reality for you?
Okay, so my journey started May of last year. And mind you, I've been working on this, it's been almost a year now. It's coming up to be May again. I started May of last year. I was just sitting down, I got off from work, and I mean, I've always been a person, I've always wanted to be my own boss. My issue was always working for others, and I felt like I was creative to be enough, to work for myself. But, in life you do things that you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So I worked at a manufacturer, and so I came home one night, and I was like, okay, this is my moment. The kids are asleep. I got some downtime. Let me think on what will be my next business venture. Mm-hmm. What can I do to really find my identity?
That's powerful.
So,
did y'all hear that? That's powerful.
Identity.
So that's the number one thing. A lot of people, and I've talked about this, a lot of people don't know who they are. And I'm learning through JoJo Talk to find out who is Javon, mm-hmm. who is JoJo, my identity. And it doesn't matter how old you are when you find that. Yeah. This was just last year. We're actually the same age.
Yes.
And it comes a point in your life where you have to sit down with yourself, sit down in that little still, quiet room, mm-hmm. and ask yourself the difficult questions to yourself. At least that's the journey I'm on as well.
Yes. So when I sat down, I got my sketchbook. Well, really before this, I grabbed another book and I just started writing down things. At first, I was like, okay, maybe I'll, sell clothes.
Okay. Wasn't for you?
Wasn't me. So I said, you know what? I said, Lord, I'm praying to you, because this is what I do all the time. I mean, I pray. I have a close relationship with God, and people think that you got to go to the church to always have a close relationship. Mm-hmm. One thing about it doesn't matter. You can not go to church for weeks. You cannot go to church for months, but mm-hmm. God is in your heart. Mm-hmm. If you were raised up with it, mm-hmm. you're going to take it. So I prayed and I said, Lord, I just help me find something that I love. Like, not saying that I didn't love the other businesses that I was doing, but I just wanted something that I said, God, I just want my own identity, mm-hmm. my own identity. So I myself got to looking up, and I'm always experimenting. I'm always getting on the internet. I say this: the internet is your number one friend when you're wanting to find vendors, mm-hmm. when you're wanting to communicate with outside. These are things that I taught myself, and a lot of people don't understand. They'll go and pay lots and lots of money. Nothing is wrong with paying money to learn the business of business, mm-hmm. but if you don't have to, mm-mm. you can go and teach yourself. You can teach yourself step by step.
What was it like to be self-taught? Like we just said, we have these resources at our fingertips, but I am amazed that you said that you went on the internet and just started looking at vendors and ideas, because you had already had a business. Mm-hmm. 2 of them, actually. Mm-hmm. But for this one, this was so important to you that you prayed over it, that you did your homework, you did the research, you went online. Yes. What was that like?
So I had, like you just said, I had already pretty much kind of had the resources as far as vendors. I had a vendor, and one thing about my journey is I love making friends and meeting with people along the way.
Okay.
So I had a friend, and her name was Anna. I made a friend with her. She was always trustworthy to give me my packages. And mind you, this was the lady that shipped my hair.
Okay.
So
you had already established a relationship.
I had already established a relationship with her. Always talked about, visiting, coming there. Just
where was she?
She was in China. Never had my passport or anything like that. So of course, procrastinated on that, but we'll get to that later. But I contacted her and I said, do you happen to know of any, or do you have any friends? Because I'll say this, in China, they're different. They have friends that are next door that you can go to, or they can go over there to and ask the information that you're wanting. Because I knew everything is in China. Every aspect of what we need is in China. So she asked one of her friends and connected me.
Okay.
And from there, I've been able to find vendors. I've been able to get the type of bags that I wanted. I've been able to create them, so to speak. So it's not even that they're make or these are like pre-made bags. These are custom-made bags. So they're bags that I come up with the ideas of, and I draw them out or I sketch them. I come up with the dimensions, the sizes, the inches of how big or small I want them, and it goes from there.
So we got the title Pretty Luxury.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get to what the title means, what kind of business is Pretty Luxury? So we knew from hair that, what was the hair called?
It was Too Pretty Hair Collection.
Too Pretty Hair. Mm-hmm. That's pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
IAM Brows. Slay.
Yes.
But what does Pretty Luxury Inc. actually do? What is it actually? What can I do? How can I? All these things.
Pretty Luxury stands on the name. It's pretty and it's luxury. It's a luxury brand. I want every woman before everything is over with, I want every woman to be able to look at my bag and say, oh, that's a Pretty Luxe bag.
Ooh.
Just how you look at Hermes and you're looking at Louis Vuitton, you're looking at Gucci, you're looking at Chanel, because you can tell which bags are
They have identifiers.
They have their own identification.
Michael Kors, you're going to know what it is.
That is what I want to impact the world with. Before it's over, I want my brand all the way down to the heels, because I customize the heels as well. I want you to be able to look at my handbags and my heels to say, oh, that's Pretty Luxe.
So with the handbags,
mm-hmm.
is this something that was a part of your dream when you were at home? What did it? Not only how'd you get the title, which I want to know how'd you get the title. Like you said, it's just Pretty Luxury.
Mm-hmm.
But when did it actually birth into? Okay, this is what I'm going to name it.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get from handbags to heels? What was the correlation of bringing it all together?
Bringing it all together for me was basically just knowing like what was in my closet. I know I'm a shoe fanatic. I know I love purses. So I was just like, you know what? Why not have a one-stop shop a little bit for women? You know, you can buy the bag, you can buy the shoes. I mean, what's the point if you gotta buy the bag and then you gotta go somewhere else to buy the shoes?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like why not buy both items at that one particular place? Because you know those shoes are gonna match that bag.
Mm.
Those boots, those snakeskin boots are gonna match that handbag.
Okay.
Those Croc boots are gonna match that Croc bag.
Okay.
So it just kind of, you know.
So how do you go about creating the designs for your unique customized handbags?
Great question. So let's get started on that, because this book right here, this is my best friend. When I'm at home and the kids are away, or if they're asleep, I can get things done in here. So what I brought today was just like...
Oh, I see leopard.
Yes. So what I brought...
Okay, I see leopard in her sketchbook. So
yes.
Sorry. I told Eva stop recording because I got really excited.
Well, we'll start with the leopard first since
Thank
you like
you.
the leopard. Okay.
You see that behind you?
I love it.
Thank you.
I love that hat. So, okay, I brought this material. And actually what I did was I ordered, this is off of like Amazon, but let me say this. This is what I use. I use like Amazon material just to kind of get over, because one thing with communicating with foreigners, it's a little different. Our language is a little different. They communicate better when they're shown what you're wanting.
Okay.
So this is not the ideal. Now the actual material, like with Forest Croc, but we'll get to that. So this is more like a PU leather. This is what they call PU leather.
Okay.
Meaning it's expensive, but it's less expensive than genuine leather.
Okay.
So this is what I would do. So normally I would be on a FaceTime or a video with them, and I would show them like, hey, I want cheetah print. And they're like, oh, cheetah print. And they go like, oh, I know what you're saying. So if I'm wanting to, the dimensions. So once I do this, then I will kind of like go into explaining or drawing. So this is where you get the drawings from me. And this is a complete different drawing. This is completely different than this. But this is just to kind of give you an idea of what I do.
Okay.
So, like this shoe here. If I wanted this shoe,
Mm-hmm.
they're very big on detail. One thing about being a designer and what I've learned is, and just, my early parts of becoming a designer, is you always want to be very detailed with your dimensions, your heel inches, all of that. They can go and I can pull up this actual design shoe and it'll be right there.
Okay.
I just did some different coloring to it to kind of, because I like I don't know, for some reason I'm obsessed with holographic type or iridescent type material, so I'm sorry. But that's just really what it is.
Don't apologize. If you know your niche,
yes.
If you know your passion, if you know what works for you and what you crave, like I just said, I'm going to put on leopard and black before I grab anything else.
Yes.
We already had a conversation about this yellow shirt where I was just like, I think I should put on something else. And she was like, girl, you look fine. I'm like, okay.
I love it. But now this is another material. So this is more like a gator.
Got some weight to it.
Mm-hmm. And this is, of course, is a little bit more thicker because the material is a little bit more to value than this.
Okay.
As you can tell, it's thicker. So when they're making handbags, this is the type of material that they're using. If I draw out, and say for instance, and I'm gonna show this again. This is like a crop material. This is like a PU leather. I brought all PU leather because I didn't want to just bring genuine leather, but it's like I said, it's the same thing. It's good quality. Of course, it's gonna hold weight, and this is a little bit heavier than the other one. So, as far as like this, say for instance, a purse like this. If I wanted this material with this bag, they're gonna know, okay, she wants this material on this particular bag.
Okay. Dimensions
wise, they're gonna see the dimensions. They're gonna know how big I want.
So no one can have a bag that's the same because you actually sat there and drew out.
I'm gonna be honest, I had them to sign NDAs.
Whoa.
So they couldn't even release.
So you legit.
They can't release anything, and I had an attorney to look over this stuff. So
these are details that a lot of people don't know that you need to think above and beyond, like licensing your name.
Yes.
I never thought about an NDA.
I put a lot in there. NDAs are good because one thing about it, if you tell a person that you're wanting to do business with, or it could be a vendor or whomever, I really highly suggest having people to sign NDAs because the way the world works is so many people are releasing a lot of different things that sometimes you don't want it released yet until you're done with it. So I had them to sign NDAs.
Wow.
The only thing also about as far as like the bags that I had that I created, which is the Island Girl bag, and that's also, it's not in this here. But
you have a bag called Island Girl?
Island Girl.
Do you name all your bags?
Every last one of mine.
Okay.
They
Throw
have
a couple
their
of names
own,
out there.
They have their own identity. I have Fierce. I have Pink Venom. Pink Venom is a pink snakeskin bag that will be dropping May 28th.
Okay, we already put the name out there. Yes.
So Pink Venom. This is for the Barbie girls, like the Barbs. This is for the Barbie girls, the girls that love pink like myself. So, and I'm a big Nicki Minaj fan.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna be honest. I'm a Nicki Minaj fan. I like Meg Thee Stallion, but I'm a Nicki Minaj fan too.
Okay.
So, to me, it expresses my identity. It's, I have the Barbie tattoo for a reason.
Whitney Renee, would you agree the one thing you have to do as an entrepreneur is networking?
I agree. I'm going to be honest. Networking, let me tell you. First starting off, before all of this, I'm such a homebody, you guys. Like, that's something that people didn't know about me. I'm very standoffish, very, just to myself.
You seem so outgoing.
I do. I do hear that when people talk to me. But I'm more of a homebody. I love, being at home watching, shows or whatever. But with this new journey, and this is a new me, I feel like with the way I'm feeling in 2024, I'm doing a whole lot of things different that I did not do before in my previous years. I'm networking. I'm getting my name out there. I want everyone to know who Whitney Renee is. I will say that's the number one way to describe my personality. Is very passionate, and once I'm a very hard worker. I'll say this. I've been called a workaholic, but I just say it like this: you don't sleep. How else are you gonna get somewhere in life if you sleep all the time? So even when I'm relaxing or when people think I'm at home not doing anything, I'm constantly putting work into my business to make it better. I'm constantly trying to be a better myself to what things that I didn't do in my past business that I need to apply and put here.
Okay.
I'm constantly doing that because what other way are you going to learn in life? Your mistakes, unless you go through it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as you've went through them, and when you get to where you are, you're like, okay, so I know not to do that anymore. I know to take a different approach.
I am honored that you gave me the privilege to be the host of your launch party.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that.
So the event is going to take place March 30th from 3 to 7. This is going to be an event for me to showcase all of the custom pieces that I have been working on. From the blood, sweat, and tears of drawing, from getting material, putting pieces together to show to my designers. This event you don't want to miss. This is going to be an event for you to take a walk on the wild side into my life, with the luxury of alligator material, snakeskin material, and just kind of also not just see that, but just see the beautiful custom pieces that I've worked on. I've worked on them very hard.
Beautiful. So you'll have your bags there?
I will have my bags.
Heels?
There will be heels there as well. And there will also be an opportunity from the time that you walk in to we're gonna do a drawing. So it'll be an opportunity for you to win a pretty Lux bag. So this is an event you don't want to miss. We're gonna have a live DJ. We're just gonna kick back, have fun. You guys are gonna get a chance to see a different side of me, a side that I haven't showcased to the world. Just this is not just an event. This is a party. This is a celebration. So we're wanting to celebrate just women in general, not just myself. We want to celebrate if you're an entrepreneur or not. We want to just celebrate just being who we are, our authentic selves.
Whitney Renee, if there is something that you can leave the people with, either about you, about your bag, about your business, something to keep people striving for more, even on those down days where your passion and your hard work doesn't seem like it's paying off or being noticed. What can you tell people?
I would tell people to never give up. And this is coming from a woman that suffers from anxiety, panic attack disorders. And I've had my darkest moments. A lot of people, never understood. I would not be on Facebook or not be on a social media because I would just get off to myself. A lot of times just felt really dark. And if you ever find yourself feeling in a dark place, know that it's never the end. Let me say that. Things may not always look up at the moment, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to get better. And one thing about it, if we couldn't handle it, and I just look at it like this, and my grandmother, she still says this now. She says, if you can't take it, you won't make it. So one thing about it in life, you got to be able to take something. God don't give us our battles for no reason.
You can't have a testimony without a test.
And you can't have a testimony without a test. No. You got to have been through some things, and you got to still keep going through some things to get to where you are. So if you're going through a dark moment, just know that you're not alone. And even if you ain't got nobody to talk to, he always hears you.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Whitney Renee, JoJo Talk wants to thank you for being my special guest today. I am just now birthing my purpose and following my calling. And I am understanding that it's not going to be perfect. There are going to be trials and errors. And I appreciate you for becoming someone special in my life and allowing me to help tell your story and get people to know you and using my platform to do that.
Yes.
It means a lot to me.
Thank you. I'm excited that I was able to come and just share and be transparent about my experience with business and just talk and just be my authentic self. So I thank you, JoJo, for having me.
How can they reach you?
So you guys can reach me on Facebook. I have a Facebook, it's Whitney Renee. Or you can go also, don't forget to go and like my business page, Pretty Lux Inc. on Facebook. You can also search it on Instagram, Pretty Lux Inc. as well on Instagram. On Instagram, my name is IAM Renee, so you can reach me
cute.
there as
That's
well.
Cute. Okay, well, we'll put all that contact information in the bottom so that they know. Do you have a website coming up where they can order some bags?
My website is currently getting worked on. So it'll actually be, the website will be ready the same day as the business launch. So
that's exciting.
Be on the lookout for that.
Thank you for tuning in to JoJo Talk. I'm Javon Baker, and this is Whitney Renee. Until next time, remember, not my monkey, not my circus. Life's already a circus.
But not every monkey is your responsibility.
Period. Thanks for watching.